Good morning, students. This is Dr. Kasturi from Wales. Today we are going to see the subject software engineering. Let us get into the subject. In software engineering, we are going to see block 3, that is software design. In software design, we are going to see about the concepts, analysis, modeling approaches, that is scenario-based modeling. In the previous units, we have seen about the requirement gathering, creation of software requirement specification, SRS, and requirement validation techniques. Now, in this unit, we are going to see about the scenario-based modeling. This step is after the requirement validation. Now, let us get into the topic. Okay, what is the main objective of this unit? This unit explains about the scenario-based modeling approach in software design, that is use case model, and the steps in the use case model. Okay. Scenario-based model in software engineering. What is that? Okay. Scenario-based elements depicts how the user interacts with the system and the specific sequence of activities that occur as the software is used. And it is one of the sub-stages of requirements modeling. Actually, the software design itself is a modeling of the requirement, that is requirements modeling. Therefore, scenario-based modeling is one of the sub-stages of requirements modeling. It is also typically the first stage of requirements modeling since it identifies the primary use cases for the proposed software system or application to which later stages of the requirements modeling will refer. Here in scenario-based modeling, everything will be depicted as use cases. Okay, we'll be seeing in the later slides. Okay. Defining the role of humans. What is a scenario? Defining the role of humans in systems is a scenario. What is the role of a human? What is the role of the user for particular system is the scenario. Okay. The purpose of scenario analysis is to assist designers in identifying and addressing user requirements. And then not technical requirements. Okay, therefore, the main purpose of scenario analysis is used to assist the designers, software designers, in identifying and addressing the user requirements. Okay, therefore, it is possible that the situations are connected to the use cases, users, actors, and their association will be depicted using the use case model. Interactions at the technical level of a system. Therefore, what is a scenario? It is a role of a human, that is a user. The role of the user is a scenario here. And what is the purpose of scenario? It is used for designers to identify and address the user requirements rather than the technical requirements. Okay. Yes, then what is use case model? Why it is used for scenario based model? Okay. A use case model is a model of how different types of users interact with the system to solve a problem. How different types of users interact with the system. Yeah. A system is software is there, application is there. The types of users will be different. Therefore, should model how different types of users will interact with a particular system to solve a problem. Okay. It describes the goal of the users, the interactions between the users and the system, and the required behavior of the system in satisfying these goals. So what it does? It describes the goals of the users, the interaction between the users and the system. What are the objectives of the users? What they intend, what is their intention, and the interaction between the users and the system, the required behavior of the system in satisfying these goals. Everything is under the user perspective. Okay, this is about the user perspective. Use case model is for user perspective. Okay, a use case model consists of a number of model elements, can have different number of elements. The most important model elements are, what are they? Use cases, actors and the relationship between them. Okay, what are the use cases? Actors here, actors will be the humans, usually the users. Okay, use cases and the relationship between them. A use case diagram is used to graphically depict a subset of the model to simplify communication. Okay, so by using the use case diagram, we can view the communication between the users and the use cases, how it was depicted, how it's going to be like that. There will typically be several use case diagrams associated with the given model. For a particular model, there can be a number of use case diagrams, each showing a subset of the model elements relevant for a particular purposes. Each model, each diagram will depict the particular purpose. The same model element may be shown on several use case diagrams, but each instance must be consistent. The same thing can be used, but they should be in consistent way. If tools are used, yes, you can also use automated tools. Okay, tools are used to maintain the use case model. This consistency constraint is automated so that any changes to the model element, for example, changing the name, okay, will be automatically reflected on every use case diagram that shows that element. Suppose you are having a same element for a particular model, you have a five use case diagrams, okay. If you are going to changing the name for a particular element, it will be changed. All the five diagrams will be changed automatically if we use the automated tool. Okay. Therefore, this is the scenario over here. In what use case diagrams? Well, technically, there is no right way to go through the stages of requirements modeling. It typically begins with the scenario based modeling, and that is because it identifies the possible use cases for the system. What are going to be the cases? Use cases, what are the cases the user going to undergo? That is called use cases for the system, and produces the same use case diagram to which all the other stages of the requirements modeling refer. For what is the main purpose of scenario based modeling? It identifies the possible use cases for the system. It also identifies the actors who are all the user for the particular model, and then who are the user for the particular model, and then it produces the particular model for possible use cases and for the system, and produces a use case diagram to which all the other stages of requirements modeling refer. The use case is essentially a primary example of how the proposed software application or system is meant to be used from the user's point of view. Okay, from user's point of view, everything is from the user's point of view. Okay, so how the proposed software application is going to be used by the user. Okay, the use case diagram will typically show system actors, humans or other entities external to the system, and how they interact with the system. Actually, the user or the actors, humans are the external to the use cases. They will be interacting with the system, but they are external. Okay. Technically, each action, such as a system actor can perform with the application or system, is considered to be a separate use case. Okay. Then what are the components of use case model? The basic components of use case models are actor, use cases, and associations. What is an actor? Usually, actors or people involved with the system defined on the basis of their roles. Yeah, for example, the end user will be there. For example, the banking supervisor will be there, manager will be there. It depends upon the level of the users who are more privileged. Some user will have less privilege towards an application, more privilege towards the application. Likewise, therefore, it should depict all the actors or users who involved in the system on the basis of their roles. Accountant, supervisor, manager. Likewise, the roles will be different. Based upon their roles, their use cases will be different. Their cases will be different. For an actor can be anything such as a human or another external system. And next we move on to use case. What is a use case? The use case defines how users, how actors, use case defines how actors use a system to accomplish a specific objective. The use cases are generally introduced by the user to meet the objectives of the activities and variants involved in the achievement of the goal. Therefore, the accountant will have a different use cases and a customer, for bank customer will have a different use case. He is a act for example, customer is going to be a actor. Okay, he cannot view all the data. He will not be having all the permissions like as a accountant has. For his role is different. Accountant role is different from the customer role. Customer role is different from the manager role. If you take a bank as a system, banking system. Okay. Association. What is the third one? Actors or the users or different set of roles, different users or actors, and then use cases or different cases applied to the different users. And what are associations? These are between the user and the use cases, that is actors and the use cases. Associations are another component of this basic model, that is it is used to define the associations among actors and the use cases they contribute in. This association is called communicates association. This is a simple example which depicts this scenario. Okay, airline company. This is an airline company application, and this is a use case diagram. Okay, he is the actor, and these are we have three use cases. Therefore, traveler is a human, he is an actor, and here we have three use cases: search engine, search flights, buy air tickets, get boarding pass. Therefore, we have three use cases. What are the use cases? Search flights. There's a traveler. We will search for the flights. And then after searching, if you will find a flight and you will buy a ticket, book a ticket, buy air tickets. And after that, he will be getting the boarding pass. After buying the air ticket, he will be getting the boarding pass. Therefore, here actor as a traveler, and the we have three use cases that is particular to a traveler. What are they? Search flights, buy air tickets, and get boarding pass. It's a simple example. Okay. The example used above is a use case diagram drawn using UML. Yes, use cases have been drawn using the UML, that is Uniform Modeling Language, depicts three possible use cases for the system. Okay, actor, traveler. Okay, for the system actor, the actor is a traveler when interacting with an airline company's application. The three use case actions depicted are search for flights, buy tickets, and getting boarding pass. Therefore, who is the actor here? The traveler. Human is the actor. And what are the use cases is going to undergo? Search for flights, buy tickets, and get boarding pass. And what is the next point? The large rectangle labeled airline company application represents the system boundary. Yes. This airline company application, it represents the system boundary. Yes. See here, the actor is always external to the use cases. If he is external to the use cases, and this is a system boundary. What is the system here? Airline company application is a system, and this is the boundary. Rectangle box is the boundary here. And then notice that the actor labeled traveler is outside the system boundary. Yeah, always actor will be in the outside system boundary. In UML, that is Uniform Modeling Language, all the actors are depicted outside the system boundary. Yes, all the actors. In our example, we have only one actor. There may be n number of use cases and n number of actors will be there. Therefore, they always will be outside the actor will be outside the boundary of the system. Outside the system boundary. Okay. As a summary, this whole unit is detailed about the scenario-based modeling approach by use case model. Scenario-based modeling approach is implemented using use case model. Okay. And the basic questions that can be asked among this unit is what is scenario-based modeling approach in software design? What is use case model? Explain the components of use case model. And for example, also they can ask draw use case model for collage management system. Here we have drawn for airline, very simple airline reservation application. Same way we can also draw for collage management system also. Okay, students, I've come to the end. Thank you. Have a fine day.